Right, so pictograms. Now, pictograms are just a nice way of representing information. So it kind of acts in the same idea as a bar chart, but the idea of pictograms, it draws people's eye to your diagram. You know, people look at it and they think, oh, I wonder what that's about. And that's the main difference. So it's just drawing some pictures really to represent your information. Um, the idea, but probably try and keep your pictures kind of relatively sort of straightforward. You know, I'm not that artistic, so I'm actually going to find this quite hard to draw. Let's have a look at our question. So we've got James does a survey about types of books read, and we've got a little frequency table of our information. Okay, so we've got some different types of book, and we've got some frequencies just here. So we're just going to go, and so it's suggesting that I draw, so a diagram like this would represent two people. So for space, that's 10 people, so therefore I need to draw like 5 books. You could do like one for each one, but it's going to be a lot of books to go and draw. So let's have a go. So what are we going to do? So for space, remember, we need to draw 5 books. Now, I'm not great at drawing. So I'm gonna have a go at trying to do something so it replicates a little bit what we've got there. Okay, there you go. That's pretty good for me. What I suggest that you do, I see people do this and they spend ages doing the first diagram, and then they maybe spend a bit of time doing the second one, and then by the time they've try and draw it the third time, they're a little bit fed up. So don't make yours too complicated, because obviously you've got to draw it a few times. Now you can see here, you know, I'm trying my best with these. So that's 2, 4, 6, 8, and then there we go. Gonna quickly draw these other ones. So that's 10. Detective. Oh, wait a minute, that's 7. I'll let you think about how many I'm going to draw here. So see if you can get there before I do. Okay, remember, try and do this as I actually work through. Don't just be sitting watching. Actually do the question at the same time. Maybe you need to pause a little bit. So pause the clip. And here we go. Right, now here's my question. So that's 2, 4, 6. So I need to draw half a book. That'll take me to 7. So just draw half. There we go. So 13. So 2 and 4, 6. And the other thing about this, look, is that if you keep it, notice everything's kept in line as I go through. So that's 8. And then it's a bit like a bar chart. So where am I up to? 10. We're nearly there. So 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12. I want to go 13. So I'll just do another half one. Remember, don't make the diagrams too tricky to do. Now I already did romance, okay? Just try and speed it up a little bit. Now, so I put my key on here. So, and make sure it's the same size. Okay, so that means 2 people. All right, there we go. So look how it's all in line. All right, again, I see people draw pictograms and they're all kind of sort of squidged up. This line here would be all like, you know, like the end of it would be here, because they kind of like just try to do it really quickly. And the whole point is that it's a bit like a bar chart on its side. Look, if I were to take this, right, normally draw a bar chart the other way around. Well, look, it's doing the same job as a bar chart. Look, we can see the bars nicely. Okay, so it's a bit like a bar chart. Now, obviously, if you're doing this on a computer, then you could, like, you know, you can copy paste your pictures a lot easier. You know, this little icon, this little picture I had here, I could have made this kind of quite flashy on there. And it would have just drawn your eye to it straight away. Okay, you would have looked at it, and you'd like, you know, even if you weren't really sort of thinking about it, you would look at it and you'd think, what's that about? And then you try and make the diagram a little bit behind, but sort of meaningful. So let's have a look at a question. So there's a question about drawing the pictogram itself. So let's have a look at one that's already been drawn for us, and then we're going to answer some questions about it. Right, so here we go. I've got one here. So got Ian. Now you can, even before I read all this rubbish over here, you can look at this. Okay, I've got some balloons on there. It says 5 pupils. Games. Oh, wait a minute. Games. That's got lots of balloons. Okay, my eye's drawn to that diagram. It's not very nice scale in terms of having 1 balloon, 5 pupils, because you can have a little think about what that means. And that means, right? But obviously doing that on a computer is much easier to do. Let's have a look at the question now. Ian asked all his friends what was the best thing about going to a party and drew this pictogram. Okay, so we don't know what the results were. Here is the answers. Now what I would suggest that you do here, before I even answer these questions over here, something that I can do just to make this so much easier, is to go and write down the totals at the end. Food, 5, 10, 15. Now that's got to be 4, hasn't it, this one? Alright, it's a little bit, it's just a tiny bit less than 5, so I'm guessing that there must be 4. So 5, 10, 15, 19. So I'm just going to put 19 over there. Remember, I don't know what the questions are, but if I've got these numbers written down, it would make these questions simple. Games, 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. If I squeeze it in there, I'd have liked to have had a little bit more room at the end there, to be honest. Dancing, 5. What do you think? It's only a tiny bit. I'm going to go, that's 1. So 5, 6. So let's call that 6. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25. Okay. Think about how much you would have drawn of the balloon if you would have wanted 2 pupils. Right? You would have probably drawn, about that much, wouldn't you? Okay, you've drawn a little bit below half. Right, now let's go and answer the questions. What was most liked about parties? Games. There's the answer. Games. Just got it there. What was least liked about parties? The dancing. Well, I think they're wrong there. That's the best bit of the party, isn't it? Dancing. How many people liked food best? We've got the answers there. Look, I haven't got to do any work because I did all the work at the beginning. How many people liked dancing best? 6. There we go. Oh, wait a minute. It says how many more people liked games than liked presents best. So games was 30, presents 25. 30 take away 25, 5. How many more people liked food than liked dancing? 19, 6. 19 take away 6 is 13. Because these numbers I've written down, any questions are easy. Right, I could do them really quick. How many friends did Ian ask in total? What do I need to do? I need to add these numbers together. Okay? You can use a calculator if you want to. That's okay. But if I'm going to add these up, I'm going to just look at the order, how I go and add this up. Okay? What's 6 add 9? That's 25. Add the other 25 is 50. Add 30 is 80. Ian's got quite a lot of friends. Okay? He asked 80 friends in total. Okay? So, 2 different types of question really with pictograms. Is we might be asked to draw it ourselves. If we do, don't make your diagrams too complicated. Keep everything nicely in line. It's easier to compare, easier to comment. And if you're asked a question where it gives you the pictogram and then you've got to do something, then just a handy tip is to go and just straightforward go and write down the numbers. Alright? Why is a pictogram useful? It's more about you use a pictogram because somebody will look at it. Alright? If I saw that in something, it might be something really boring that I'm looking at. But the point is that I would look at that just because it's got some colourful pictures in there. And then I might think, oh, right, I wonder what that's about. Okay? Rather than just drawing a bar chart. Okay? Of course I could draw a bar chart. But if I've drawn that, I'm more likely to look at it and think about it. There you go. Right, going to try a few questions.